Alright guys, welcome back to another reaction video. Today we're going to react to another Rima Evenstar video. Yeah. This is about Yakirisu. I think that's her name. I'm not sure. Now the only thing I know about her is that she abused people and was a manipulator. I also know that she I think posted was it a tweet? Was it a Discord message where she posted that she is so pretty that she can get away with anything? Like that's all I know. I think that she said that. I could be wrong. Again, I could be wrong. But yeah, let's get into it.
The VTuber world is often painted as a vibrant utopia, a haven
It is not a vibrant utopia. It is not a vibrant utopia whatsoever.
But beneath the surface of this digital paradise, shadow lurks. There is a common theme in the VTuber community where personalities...
We have seen so much shit recently, it's insane. Tiger getting deplatformed, Shy Lily Clips getting banned. So many other VTubers quitting. There's a lot of people who quit from Idol. I think someone from Nichi Sanji, was it? What was it? Hex, like Haywire was his name, I think. I'm not sure. A lot of people just straight up quit.
carefully curated and presented online.
Yeah, true, which might result in some issues.
There are those who use their platform to manipulate, exploit, and harm others.
Yeah, let me guess. By the way,
VTuber who initially...
Rima, where's the funny intro? The last two videos that I saw had some somewhat funny intros, but this one doesn't. Yeah, I know that
is one such example.
Character somewhere. I have seen that.
Is a chilling reminder that even in the most vibrant of online communities,
I have seen that
in plain sight. In her tireless pursuit of internet stardom, Yaki employed every available means to secure her place among the online elite.
Well, final tweet, thankfully. Gaslight, gatekeep, and girl boss. Girl boss is one of the worst terms to come out of, like, the 2020s. Like, insane. Also, you might hear some bird sounds, because the birds are going crazy again. As usual. As they should.
The gay baby jail.
The gay baby jail? For her cats? Also 11 Google Docs. What is she? Atsu?
She portrays herself as a land shark with a passion for fishing, mini games,
and Pokemon. Why does she like Pokemon? What is this woman doing? Oh, a pretty girl. Why did she bring that up? I wonder why.
She grew her viewership and established connections within the streaming community. In 2022, she returned to content creation.
Isn't that the little blue thing from Barbie?
Network to gain momentum. Her life
in the background, I have no idea.
Significant attention, and she frequently collabed with popular content creators such as AlphaRat. Notably, her YouTube shorts and Pokemon videos achieve impressive viewership, with one short reaching 1 million views and 2 Pokemon videos surpassing 100,000 views. She quickly established a large presence online and eventually reached 100,000.
Why do I hear classic music? I have a feeling that we're gonna see a montage of something. Tweets? Jesus.
And boy, they did. The first ball dropped with a series of allegations in the Google document.
That does not seem good. That does not seem good whatsoever. Don't know her. Never seen.
These allegations against Yakirisu stem from a series of harrowing accounts shared by fellow...
The first Google document. Let's go. Fatal I know. Ultima I don't know.
And exploitation. A chilling portrait of a seemingly charming individual whose true nature is...
It's always the nice ones. It's always the nice ones. It always has been the nice ones. Birdies. Keep silent.
To give a little bit of
I need to work.
Ultima is a video editor to many high-profile content creators such as AlphaRat and even Henya the Genius.
Oh, Henya, that's cool.
Who were friends for years, faced challenges when Yaki's ex left, allegedly struggling financially, and as you'll see throughout this video, this is a common theme with Yaki. She implored Ultima to move in to assist her with her recovery. Ultima, eager to help, agreed and moved in. However,
So
over
she's
time,
financially
Yaki's
irresponsible,
behavior
that's the
towards
first thing.
Ultima became increasingly aggressive. Ultima was subjected to yelling, physical pushing, and constant pressure to pay for various expenses.
So she's like the playground bully.
While Yaki extended her trip to LA for social
Give me your
15-year-old
money, kid.
loan for a new house.
Oh god.
Yaki relentlessly pushed
That is
Ultima
insane.
to meet her demands. Moreover, she often berated him, yelled at him constantly, making him feel incompetent and verbally abusive whenever he edited YouTube videos.
Are you
for her,
stupid?
such
This
as
is
giving
bad.
her
I hate
revision
this. I
notes
said to
saying,
do
"Are you
this.
stupid? This is bad. I hate this. I said to do this." Yaki went so far as to restrict his speaking or making any
What if I
kind of
killed you?
noise
What
while she
the
was
f-
streaming, demanding that
Huh?
he whispers to avoid ruining her content. As if he made a single noise, he would suffer her screaming after her live broadcasting session would be over. Additionally, Yaki expected
the
Ultima to
fuck
pay for gas
is-
whenever
yeah,
she
this
used
is
his
already,
car for personal needs.
not
The
good.
car she was the only one actually using. Make it make sense. This went on for months.
Wait.
until Ultima
Wait. So he got. Wait. Again. His car. He pays for the car. But she is the only. Wait, is it his car? No. But car. She uses the car. Only she uses the car. He pays for it. What the fuck? What is this? Did bro get financially cucked?
reached a breaking point.
Is that what this
His
is?
depression was at an all-time high, leading him
Bro
to
did
confide
financially
in
get
Fatal,
cucked.
which is a common friend of both
What
Aru
the
and
hell
Yaki.
is
In
this?
those screenshots, it is clear Ultima is in deep emotional distress.
I
as he
ruined my
vents to his
career.
friend,
Let
claiming
me
he
guess.
is
She
terrified
is
of
in
what
contact
Yaki
with
might
all
do to
the
his
people he
career,
works
as
with.
She had threatened him multiple times before. "I'm afraid," he says. "I am scared she will slander me, ruin my career." Due to her close ties and connections with some of his employers, and to the
Called
very
it.
real threats saying they
Yeah,
would
then
have
she is
problems
absolutely a
if he
threat.
ever betrayed
Yeah,
her. He was
true.
certain that Yaki would not hesitate to flip on him if she ever felt like he stepped out of line. That fear
Let
made
poor
him
animal
terrified
die.
of her,
That's
and she held that
$300.
over his head.
Wait, so
Always.
he
But the
paid
most
for her
insane
cat.
claim is that Yaki tried to persuade Ultima to put his name down on a
Okay.
15-year
'Cause
house
the cat
loan
was sick.
where she would
Okay,
live
okay.
with him and her boyfriend. Thankfully, that
Yeah,
didn't
she
happen,
did
as
financially
Yaki
try
decided
to
she wanted to
financially
move
cuck
somewhere
him. That
else.
is
This would
insane.
have essentially left Ultima to be the sole payer of that house and stuck with a 15-year mortgage he couldn't afford on his own. Then the
Oh
VTuber
my
and
god.
cosplayer Aru moves on to detail her own horrendous story of abuse and manipulation she
Another
suffered
one.
at the hands of Yaki. To give a little bit of context, Fatal and Aru had been friends for over 2 years. They tried dating on and off for over a month and broke up shortly after, but remained close friends and confident since
Okay,
then. In
nothing
early
too big.
January, Yakirisu, aware of Aru's relationship with Fatal, reached out about a lighthearted tweet Aru had made, commenting
I
on
love
Fatal's
Fatal.
chat, suggesting she was
Chat
either
is unironically
comedic
hates
genius
women.
or a bitch. Yaki seemed to Fatal's chat hated
Of
women,
course, now
and
gets
this just
the
opened door to start talking to
misogynistic
Aru
card gets
about
brought
their
up.
relationship. Yakirisu immediately began to express her dislike for Fatal and his audience. Aru, viewing Yakirisu as
But
a friend,
wasn't
allowed
she
her to
friends
vent and
with
share
Fatal?
some of her own frustrations. The conversation continued until Yakirisu suggested they move to a Discord or voice call. This raised Aru's suspicions, but Yakirisu's close friendship with Fatal made her seem trustworthy. During this call, Yakirisu claimed Fatal had cheated on
So just because somebody is friends with your friend does not mean they are trustworthy. They could be bad friends. Ugh.
Aru, a claim that Aru, having
That's
no reason to doubt her friend,
unreasonable.
believed. Yaki then went on to allege that Fatal had been speaking very poorly about Aru behind her back for years, and that he was actively sabotaging her career.
That's
Aru,
insane
trusting
manipulation.
Yakirisu's judgment,
She
found
puts in the
himself
work to
deeply
harm
hurt
Fatal.
and
She put in the
confused.
work to harm
Yaki
Fatal.
urged
That is
Aru
insane.
to sever all ties with Fatal, claiming that her new friends from Alphared's group were much more supportive and wanted to be friends with Aru anyway. Initially, Aru found this odd, but because she had invited Yakirisu to a VTuber collaboration in the past, she felt
The way
there was
I
a
see
way to
this, she is
reciprocate the
trying to
favor,
ruin
especially
Fatal's
since Yakirisu was
reputation.
aware of
She
Aru's
tried to ruin
loneliness
Fatal's
after learning
reputation
about Fatal's
through
alleged
Aru.
actions. However, Aru later realized that Yakirisu's intentions were far more sinister. She had been using these claims
That
to
was to be
manipulate
expected.
Aru and make her appear foolish in front of these new friends. Yaki had told
Of
these
course,
creators
makes
that
sense.
Fatal had cheated on Aru and expressed disbelief that Aru still spoke to him. After spending a weekend with Yaki in LA, Aru concluded that Yakirisu's true goal was to humiliate her and tarnish Fatal's reputation. Aru admits to
Jesus.
speaking negatively about Fatal at the time, claiming she was angry at him and had been misled by false accusations. However, she insists that her frustrations were shared only with Yakirisu, and that she had never badmouthed Fatal to any other creators. Unlike Yaki, who was found to fabricate stories
Yaki
about
spread
Fatal,
lies to
claiming
me that he was receiving
receiving
nudes from
explicit
other women
photos
while he
from
was
other
dating me.
women,
Oh
mocking
god.
Aru in group chats and constantly undermining her. Fatal was then made aware of these accusations and confirmed that they were either exaggerated or entirely false.
Okay.
It seems Yakirisu resented Fatal for not supporting her streaming career,
Huh?
although he claims he always supported her. Aru believes this an excuse for Yakirisu.
So all this because a friend wasn't supporting you the way that you wanted. That's interesting.
Attempt to harm Fatal and his associates.
Like,
Aru's subsequent refusal to cut off Fatal
I don't
led to
understand.
manipulative behavior from Yakirisu aimed at damaging Aru.
Generally, when these big content creators ruin their careers, I do in fact question how do you come to that conclusion that you that you did what you did. How? Some of these are really I react to these, but some of these are really illogical. Like, for example, Mr. Beast. Let's suppose it. We don't know perfectly well. Child molester, not Tyson. Somebody else. Like Delaware, they call him Delaware. I don't know his like name. Don't care. He put him into his company, fully knowing that there was something going on with children. Same with Tyson, of course. And now his reputation is massively tarnished. There's also like, what else did we react to? Like just other Dr. Disrespect. You are married. You have a family. You have an amazing career. Why do you entertain relationships with minors? Ugh, this is awful. I hate this.
The situation came to a boiling point during a trip to Los Angeles with a fellow creator called Izzy and Yakirisu.
Oh, another one.
Initially intended as a celebration of Izzy's birthday,
I don't get it.
Turned into a nightmare. The trip began with a seemingly innocent gesture.
Like you live a dream.
House. But this
you live a life that others can only imagine, yet you do this. She's also one of these people.
And I didn't think about it twice. This is important because Yaki later on told her friends that I was weird and kept wanting to get Alfarad's address when this was just me trying to be kind. I feel like I have to include
that sounds like gatekeeping to me, but okay.
That I kept trying to get his address. The trip began with a glimmer of hope. Izzy suggested a group dinner and a trip to Round 1 arcade. Aru, excited for some quality time with her friends, messaged the group chat around 5:30 p.m. only to be met with silence. Yaki was blatantly ignoring me and everyone else was just not responding. Aru recalls.
Gatekeeping.
She chalked it up to
they
her
kicked you out.
But her gut told her something was amiss. Later on that evening, Izzy called with a strange explanation. Our friend Adriana doesn't like new people, so you can just eat something and we'll meet at Round 1 later. Aru knew this wasn't true as Izzy was bringing 2 other friends who also didn't know Adriana. This was a turning point in Aru's suspicion, and she later learned that she had been uninvited to the dinner because Yakirisu had told Izzy, don't invite her, she's going to make Jacob uncomfortable. Jacob being Alfarad. When Alfarad ended up
why did you show Fatal though?
Further insisted,
huh?
Don't invite her, she won't vibe with the friend group. Aru, who had never met any of these people, was left alone in her hotel room feeling confused, rejected, and deeply hurt. The next day, brunch plans were once again disrupted. Later, Aru was supposed to meet Izzy and
Oh
Yakirisu
my
in
god.
Tokyo, but knowing Yakirisu's dislike for
Yeah,
Faro,
then
whom,
essentially
as
this
we
is
said
just
earlier,
like
would often badmouth him, she
you
was
were thrown
obviously
out of the
worried
group.
they wouldn't mesh well. But then Aru notes that
Quite
Yakirisu's
scummy to
behavior completely
admittedly.
changed. She was running up to them and hugging them, constantly talking to them, posting pictures of Fatal on her Twitter, and overall just being very two-faced, to put it at best. Aru repeatedly excused herself during shopping trips, unable to reconcile Yakirisu's public displays of affection with the negative things she was saying about Fatal
Okay,
behind
wait, is
his
this
back. Later that night, Izzy and
Tears of the
Yakirisu
Kingdom?
expressed guilt for not spending enough time with Aru and invited
This
her
wasn't
to
too
their
long
hotel
ago.
room. Aru agreed, but then the group insisted on stopping by their friend's house first. Aru found herself in a strange home, surrounded by 3 men she didn't know. Minutes later, Izzy announced their
That
Uber
would make
had
me
arrived
so
and asked
uncomfortable.
Aru to let her know when she returned to her.
Like, as a woman, it's like even worse. You're like stuck with 3 men that you do not know. That's super uncomfortable. But even like I've always stuck like with 3 women in a room, like in a room. That would make me so uncomfortable. Cause like at the possibility that not just they could do something to me, but they could lie about me, because I was alone with them. Ugh.
They immediately left, leaving Aru alone.
That probably
in the
was really
house at
uncomfortable
3
for the
a.m.
dudes as well.
Aru was terrified, her anxiety and PTSD flaring, and felt deeply betrayed. She later learned that Yakirisu had specifically requested that Aru not be in any Ubers with them, explaining why she was constantly expected to travel alone throughout the whole trip. Now,
What
on the
the-
last day of the trip, the group was supposed to visit the aquarium, but Aru was once again ghosted. Later that night, on her way to Izzy's party, Aru was once again left stranded in
I have
Hollywood at
the
11
nose
p.m.
cummies.
and felt abandoned. She had no idea where she was and was completely terrified. She called Izzy and begged for someone to come and get her. Yakirisu would later put the blame on Aru for this. It was
What
Aru's
the
fault
hell?
that happened because she put the address in wrong. But Aru insists, I copy and pasted the address I was given. Aru also learned that while she was crying, she later found out
Did they give her the wrong address on purpose? Is that a chance? Like, is it a possibility that they gave her the wrong address on purpose? I mean, it has to be, right? Right?
Yakirisu had been calling her passive-aggressive for being scared? After nearly 20 minutes of agonizing uncertainty, Aru finally hailed an Uber to the location of Izzy's party. Upon
Fear,
arriving, she presented
a very
Yakirisu
clear
with the
emotion,
birthday gift
is
she had
passive-aggressive.
purchased. Still unaware
So
of the
two
extent to which
so two
Yakirisu
emotions in
had
one.
been orchestrating the bullying she had endured throughout the trip.
They bullied her the entire trip. What is this? Like, if I was walking around with a group, like on a trip, and someone of that group would be left out all the time, I would start to question if something is wrong. But that is just me. That is insane.
Aru asked Izzy if her or Alpharad hated her. Izzy said no to both. Izzy then admitted that Yakirisu disliked Aru and spread rumors about her, causing Aru to miss out on most social events. Aru, known for her directness, insisted
That is
on
so
confronting
evil.
Yakirisu despite Izzy's pleas to avoid confrontation. Despite 3 separate sources confirming the same story, Yakirisu denied almost everything. She began to yell at Aru, who threatened to leave if she continued to speak to her that way. Yakirisu then turned her anger towards Izzy, yelling at her until she was shaking and crying and apologizing profusely to Yakirisu. Aru, sensing Izzy's fears, told her to leave and that she would handle the situation. The night ended with Yakirisu claiming that she had only spoken negatively about Aru to Alpharad, Alpharad because he had asked about her, a claim that Alpharad later denied. Anyway, what kind of answer is that? Aru,
What the hell?
exhausted and emotionally drained, told Yakirisu, "As long as you stop talking bad about me to people, it's water under the bridge. Just please stop doing that and be honest if you don't like me rather than bullying me." Yakirisu responded, "Aru, I love you. I would never say anything bad about you."
Manipulation.
Alpharad, after Yakirisu had badmouthed Izzy to him, acted as a mediator, dismissing the entire situation as a misunderstanding. While Aru was alone in her hotel room, Yakirisu continued her campaign of manipulation, attempting to damage Aru's reputation within the friend group. This pattern of behavior extended beyond Alpharad's circle, as Yakirisu spread rumors to...
But why? Why? I don't get it. I haven't found a singular reason as to why. Is she jealous? I don't get it. Like, what's the motivation for this? I don't understand.
Groups, leading to other content creators cutting off contact with Aru or even becoming cold.
I really don't understand the motivation for this. Maybe it's just me being too trained to, yeah. Maybe I'm really well trained in exposing these people, because, yeah, you cannot fool me.
And distant with her. Aru struggling with the impact of her
Maybe it's
mental
also
health
because she's really
ultimately had
attractive.
to disconnect from everything. Following the trip,
Apparently, I haven't
Alfred
seen her
reached out to Aru,
before, so
expressing
maybe
regret
maybe
for the
not.
events that had transpired. Aru confronted him about the things she had heard and experienced, sharing the details of Yakirisu's manipulative behavior. While Aru kept names vague to avoid further trouble, she made it clear that she was deeply hurt and felt betrayed by her supposed friends.
Understandable.
This pattern continued, culminating in mutual friends revealing that Yakirisu had been telling them that Aru constantly spoke badly about her. She even contacted individuals, asking them to share personal details about Aru's life.
Wait. So Yakirisu lied about Aru talking bad about her. Yeah, this is awful. So this is essentially Aru being together with a group of people she doesn't know that well. Yeah, I guess then it makes sense why they would rather trust Yakirisu.
So
Go ahead.
poorly, especially during a supposed fun trips with friends. She was lied, manipulated, and bullied, ultimately requiring therapy to cope with the emotional toll. But the story didn't end here. As often happens on the internet,
okay, that is
a domino effect, which made many of
we have like over half an hour to go, so yeah, this is gonna
Johan, who dated
be interesting.
Yakirisu from 2017 to 2021 and lived with her from 2018 to 2021, details a pattern of control and abuse that mirrored many of the experiences shared by Ultima. She describes a shift in Yakirisu's behavior as their relationship progressed, becoming increasingly controlling over both Johan's life and finances. Johan claims that Yakirisu, despite not working, became increasingly reliant on her income, pressuring her to pay for shared expenses. In the summer of 2020, she pressured me into purchasing a home with her, something I did not plan on doing as we were not married. Johan was primarily responsible for their finances and was often expected to drive Yakirisu around. As Yakirisu gained popularity, her treatment of Johan worsened. Johan was reduced to a house cleaner, frequently berated and blamed for any...
So, essentially what happened is that she got full of herself as she became more popular. Damn, okay, I mean, yeah, sure. The progression makes sense somewhat.
Problems. Struggling with the constant criticism, Johan began to doubt herself. The situation reached a breaking point.
Imagine getting turned into a housewife.
Their dog, Pinto, was attacked by Yaki's untrained dog. Johan, burdened by full-time work and college classes, attempted to train the other dog, but Yakirisu did little to help. This led to a breakup, but the abuse didn't stop. The situation escalated when Yakirisu began dating Ruby, one of her Twitch mods. Johan was locked out of the house, physically assaulted, and forced to pay for more expense.
I'm gonna. Can I do this? Fuck, I will do this. Yeah, I mean, lesbian relationships. One of the most abusive relationship forms. Yeah, 75% divorce rate. Who could have told that?
The abuse culminated in a attempt on May 12,
This
2020,
is-
after Johan was repeatedly locked out of the house. She was admitted to the emergency department, but the hospital did not detect the sodium nitrite.
So, physical abuse and getting locked out of the house. Physical abuse resulted in going to the hospital. I like crazy women, but not that kind of crazy. Not like that crazy.
She had ingested.
Jesus
She writes,
Christ,
"I did
this
survive
is...
and was released in the morning and told the
This
actress
chick
to
is a
stop being attacked,
monster.
as I feared what she would do if
Holy.
she found out." The abuse continued. I moved out on June 11th. I also took our cat Gil, as Yaki had been physically abusive to him in the past.
The
She
cat as well?
the cat multiple times, locked him in closets
Thrown?
multiple times, and generally confined him to a very small
Is
room
that
and
the
let
baby,
him take
gay
care of
baby
him
jail?
completely. Johan expresses remorse for not speaking out sooner, but ultimately
Oh
she
my
offers her
God,
support
holy
to
shit.
other victims, especially Ultima, and hopes they can find healing and move forward. Then a young video editor by the name of Mahado also came forward with their experience.
Another.
Detailed that, eager to grow their skills, they accepted a commission from Yakirisu to create a Smash or Pass video featuring Pokemons. The editor, assuming a 10-minute highlight reel,
She's an abuser, harasser, bully, manipulator, and a degenerate. That's insane.
was the desired outcome, delivered a 21-minute video edited from a 2-hour VOD 2 weeks later. Yakirisu, however, criticized the work, calling it sloppy and rushed despite the editor's efforts to exceed expectations. Yaki seems disappointed as he skipped several of the Pokemons she had covered. I can only assume this happened because she didn't tell him that she wanted all of them in the video, so obviously, how could he have known?
So you are a shitty communicator. Okay, got it.
He asked for a partial refund from his already meager pay of $60 as she believed the quality wasn't as expected. This does sound very similar to Ultima's experience as her video editor often being berated. The editor, feeling gaslight and pressured, opted to refund half of her original payment to protect their mental health, while Yakirisu ends up nonetheless utilizing this video to grow her channel. Our next account comes from
That is insane.
friends Rodentblade, aka Jake. Jake had been friends with Yaki for around 2 years from 2019 to early 2021, and Jake would often see Yaki berate and bully most of her close friends.
Imagine the friends are just all people in horny jail. I don't know how she looks, but
including him.
there's a chance?
Times where she would call me stupid and often in a context that was really unnecessary.
I mean, I use those words as well. But you know how boys are. Boy humor. Men humor. So understandable.
This would also apply to other people in the group. She would pick her favorites and actively avoid the rest, but hold power over our group since a lot of us were young and naive. There was even one instance where she claimed one of her friends was a fat loser that no one liked and is only around because everyone feels guilty. Rodentblade.
The fuck? Yeah, this is one unhinged beast. That is a monster of a woman. That is a monster. Damn, dude, this chick is some kind of supervillain.
Relationship with his girlfriend ended, leading to a mental breakdown. He
Understandable.
admits to contacting his ex, even threatening his own life. His ex confided in Yaki but asked her to keep it private. Yaki, however, betrayed that trust, spreading rumors and isolating Rodent Blade from his friends. She even claimed he faked his suicide attempts. While Yaki
What the
denies
fuck?
these allegations, Jake claims he has seen several proof of this. Jake writes, while attempting to take my life, Yaki would lie to my ex and tried to make me lose all of my friends and connections, which I still
this
don't know
is
why
a
she
villain.
was so
This is a
involved
villain.
in
This
over
is a
private
super
matter.
villain.
What I did was wrong, but it wasn't her place to be sharing private information
Holy.
like that. Because of the traumatic events he went through and subsequent ostracizing, Jake has had to leave all social media for 2 years out of fear that she would hunt him down, even though his relationship with his own ex had been mended by then. He used to have two Twitter accounts, now both deactivated due to being so terrified of
Understandable,
Yaki's harassment.
I guess.
Yaki's
That is
response was
understandable.
swift and dropped a mere 20 hours after the allegations. She claims to be shocked by Aru's allegations, insisting that the situation is being exaggerated and twisted. This came as a shock to me because many things in this story are maliciously exaggerated, and a majority are just completely untrue. She accuses Aru of
she's lying. She's 100% lying.
A massive amount of screenshots herself to prove her point. I've prepared an album of screenshots I feel are essential to understanding my conflict with Aru and Fatal. Directly below this album is another providing 111 screenshots between me and Aru via Twitter, so that nothing can be taken out of context. But honestly, it was just a bunch of information dump without addressing a lot of the concerns raised in the initial Google documents. Yaki's decision to release the screenshot was motivated by a desire to expose Aru's true nature. She claims Aru's social climbing behavior made her uncomfortable, but it is obvious her primary objective was to highlight Aru's catty and malicious side, particularly her disparaging remarks about Fatal. While this situation may not portray a pleasant image, the truth is that Yaki had deceived Aru, leading her to believe that Fatal had been unfaithful. Consequently,
again, I do not understand the motivation behind this.
Aru was understandably
I don't get
upset
it.
with Fatal as they shared a moment of commiseration and support. Furthermore, she assigns blame to Fatal, whom she believes attempted to create animosity between her and Aru.
Yeah,
Fatal's
totally.
response to
That
this
was
to blame both me and
Yakirisu
Aru
did
and
nothing
pin us
wrong.
against each
Yeah,
other,
definitely.
which you can see me and Aru talk
I
about in the
still don't
screenshots
get the
provided.
point.
Aru was the one who came to the conclusion she
Did
was
I miss
cheated,
something?
not me. I simply told her events that had happened. The majority of the
Is it just for
conversation happened
shits
in
and
Discord
giggles?
voice call, but you can see from the screenshots from the aftermath of that voice call, I felt so legitimately sick and anxious, and I told Ultima, Ruby, and Nick what happened. Ruby and Nick had to comfort me for the rest of the night because I was so distraught about the situation. Furthermore, she denied ever threatening Aru's career or sabotaging her LA trip, presenting screenshots of seemingly friendly conversations. In her statement, Aru claims that we had conversations of her pleading with me to stop sabotaging her career, but this once again comes as a shock to me because these conversations never took place. The last few conversations
So she made up conversations in her head? That's crazy. She
She
listened to the voices.
topics like her asking for advice for what photos to post on Twitter. Here are screenshots of those conversations. I can provide more if needed, though they are just random miscellaneous conversations that show I thought we were on good terms. Problem is, most of the confrontations and important conversations were done either by Discord voice call due to Yaki's request or face to face. She presents an instance from the LA
That
trip
is
where she
smart,
tried to get
actually.
everybody to go to the
'Cause if
aquarium,
nobody
but she was
recorded
not
them,
trying to exclude Aru from the trip, as Aru initially claimed in
you
her
can't prove
update
anything.
ghosted. However, through another content creator's investigation by the name of Rhythm Rev, we found out that Yaki conveniently leaves out that she had a scheduling conflict that day and kept switching up the meeting time. By that point, Aru was fed up by the way she had been treated by Yaki and did not join them for the aquarium. Additionally,
Understandable.
Yaki admits to bad-mouthing Fatal,
I literally
but
had
claims it
voice
was
drops,
simply
that's
venting to
insane.
a friend. Both me and Aru badmouthed Fatal, and I take full
There's a lot of
responsibility for
information.
what I said. Some things weren't nice, and I've had to learn.
I'm just gonna watch. I'm not gonna pause anything anymore. I'm just gonna watch it.
Experiencing at that point in my life, and I felt it was okay to vent to a friend I trusted. Now, the part where she addresses her ex-roommate's Ultima allegations, but I'm seriously baffled how anyone could believe this makes them look good. She starts by stating that she did not beg Ultima to move in with her, claiming it was a win-win situation. I was not doing financially well at the time, and he wanted to help me as well as
So he pays, and you live there. Yeah, the ultimate win. What did she offer him? Herself?
Living with friends would help his depression. I did not beg him or strong-arm him. In an attempt
Yeah,
to
that
challenge
totally
the
helped.
accusations made by Ultima, she vehemently denied any intent to threaten him. She emphasized that
Why
her
do I not
actions
believe
were
her?
solely motivated by her role as a friend and a desire to protect her trust. But then Loki admits to it.
Buy a house.
He claims I threatened Ultima that if he told anyone about the abuse he experienced while living with me, we would have a problem. While I did say that there would be a problem, I meant that I would be disappointed as a friend if he broke our trust by gossiping about me. I don't know about you guys, but if somebody tells me not to talk about my
Self-report. That sounds like a self-report, like a big fat self-report.
Like a threat to me. It sounds straight up from a mafia movie, actually.
But I didn't know until this day that it was Rossini all along.
Regarding Hazel and her claims, I have been trying to contact Hazel
funny.
for almost an entire year since she abandoned
Who
the
Hazel?
property we lived
Who's
at.
that?
I have sent her constant emails and texts regarding this, and she has chosen to ignore them. She was not paying our mortgage payments in full, while I sent her money via Google Pay, which can be shown here. Due to respect for her privacy, I have censored her name. Yaki also refutes the claims of her
Imagine if
alleged
she
mistreatment of her
like
cat,
sent
claiming it
someone
was
else
stolen.
like money
My
and
cat
then
Gail was stolen on June
which is why
11th,
this name is
alongside many
censored.
of my clothes, personal belongings, and expensive electronics. I never mistreated him or abused him, and I'm absolutely
Her clothes got
horrified that
stolen
this
and her cat.
accusation exists. There is a room in the house where Gil liked to hide, as he was a very skittish rescue cat that one of my IRL friends gave to me. I was the only one who took care of him, constantly cleaning its litter box and feeding him. When I noticed that Gil was gone, I was genuinely worried for his safety. As we've seen previously, Hazel
So
did
her
take
cat
the
got
cat
kidnapped?
away as she feared for his health due to him being physically abused and often confined to a very small room. And honestly, it's hard to say who's telling the truth as we don't have much
We don't
evidence
have
from
proof,
both
yeah,
parties.
so
Ruby,
I'm not
who
gonna
is
comment on that
Yakirisu's
necessarily.
current roommate and a witness during the incidents involving Ultima, then jumps in to defend Yakirisu as well. However, they failed to mention at any point that they were also Yakirisu's lover, thus rendering them heavily biased towards her. Essentially, he reiterates everything that Yaki had previously claimed.
Are they just all horny for them? For her? What is this? Like, genuinely. How many partners do you have in, like, what, 2 years?
In her document about being totally unaware of Ultima's reasons
the
of being upset
fuck
with
is
them,
this?
and felt like these issues were never clearly communicated with
She had
them,
like
so
four
how could they have
or
possibly
five
known?
people?
He writes, I truly don't believe Yaki was
I don't even
ever
know that
abusive or
many.
malicious to Ultima either. Ultima did move in to help Yaki pay rent after issues with her ex, and she is incredibly grateful for everything as far as I could understand. At no point, however, did Yaki get pushy and strong-arm Ultima to pay for things or was verbally abusive to him. Ruby disputed Ultima's claim of paying most of their cat's vet bills, stating that the expenses were intended to be deducted from Rand due to his financial situation at the time. This was the only instance where Ultima was explicitly asked to pay for a cat-related expense. Ruby believed Ultima was being kind by paying for food and litter, as he never complained and even declined his offer to reimburse him. Regarding the 15-year house loan, Ruby makes it appear as though Ultima was in agreement and explained that he was the one who
The thing
actually
is, like,
caused
now
it.
that,
night, he broke down multiple times, expressing panic over the increased
I
cost
know
of
that
rent.
he is
Ultima had
was her
several
lover.
opportunities to back down or voice
I
his
do
concerns
not
during
trust
this time, but
him
he
in any
didn't.
way.
Allegedly, both Yakirisu and Ultima reassured him, promising to help
She
cover his
probably
portions
told
of
him.
the rent while he found a new job.
what he was supposed to write.
He reiterates that at no point in time did Ultima say anything about being uncomfortable or upset with Yaki. Yaki even told Ruby that she was surprised he accepted
Why
so easily,
would he tell her
since they
that
could not
if
get a
he
new
knows that
mortgage under
she
Yaki's
can
name
ruin his
because she
entire
already
career?
had
Like,
one,
huh?
was so
That
young
makes
and
no sense.
self-employed, so they wouldn't give it to her. Bro, why do you need so many mortgages in the first place if you can barely afford one is my question. She pitched the idea to
Because
Ultima
she
that
is
he would hold the
irresponsible with
title,
money.
and they do a different contract for
Which
rental agreements and
is a
tenancy.
societal problem.
Ultima
The
seemed
problem
on
is
board
for a lot
with
of
this
for a lot of
idea
people
and
is
even
not that
planned to
they
get his dad to
don't have
help
that they are
co-sign
poor,
it.
but they
Funnily enough,
mismanage
even
their
though he
money.
would be the main owner of the house and
Fun
be
fact
most
here.
liable to everything financially, those Discord logs showcase that Yakirisu is actually taking the top floor and he would live in the basement. As we've seen in Yakirisu's previous statement, it
slaves.
seems the walls between Yaki and Ultima's room were
Literal
anchored to it,
slavery.
which would explain why Yaki dictated him to basically whisper whenever she was
That
around
is
to not ruin
insane.
the content.
Literal
Ruby goes on
slavery.
to explain that Ultima would get very loud and excited, and that Yaki only asked him to be quieter during 7 to 10 p.m. and after 4 a.m. when she was sleeping, but he would routinely get loud, which was causing problems, essentially shifting the blame on Ultima. Calling this abuse, he states, is an extreme reach and is a common roommate problem that we tried to fix multiple times to no avail. If somebody is trying to work and you are actively hurting their career by making something lower quality, understandably, there will be problems. Now for the car bills that Ultima claimed Yaki asked him to pay for even though she was the main driver of his car, Ruby claims that Yaki for the first 2 to 4 months would fill up the car before leaving it at the house. They would allegedly
But again, he probably is lying. That's the problem. He probably talked to Yaki what he was supposed to write. So
come back the next
I
day
don't know.
and they would be left empty or close to empty again. Ruby claims that this was a consistent problem. It was his car. The least you could do is pay for gas if you're gonna drive it. As for the
Financially
video
cocked.
allegations that she had Ultima edit for her, Ruby says that he helped Yaki go through the VOD and figure out all the relevant timestamps, and then had the gall to add, we basically pulled together all of the video outside the memes, edits, and Yaki wrote the script, and the video was still delayed multiple times. Timestamping and voiceovers are not time-intensive tasks. Most YouTubers do it unless they pay their editors a lot, which I doubt she did in this case. Then Ruby moves on to address Yaki's
This is ridiculous. This is really stupid.
Ended up being the most viral part of all of this, for all the wrong reasons, as the evidence showcased as a defense became absolute meme material for onlookers as this controversy started.
Come on, give me the good stuff.
Ruby begins by acknowledging that he doesn't know much about Johan personally, but based on what they have heard from Yaki, Johan was reportedly abusive towards her. However, he directly refutes the claim that Yaki was abusive towards her cat and asserts that they are, in fact, extremely happy. Additionally, Ruby blames
Sounds like a self-report.
Johan for
Oh well, not necessarily self-report.
Overall upkeep, contradicting her claims of being used as a house.
But he reported.
He posts picture of their living conditions.
I guess. What the?
Oh God, what is this? Is this the room they locked the cats in? The gay baby jail? I'm pretty sure you get.
Is this the room they locked Ultima in? This looks mad disgusting, man.
Ruby goes on to explain the house was in a disgusting condition when he moved in, and says it took them a full 12 hours to restore it. You don't say. All in all, the
Really?
Yakirisu defense document, as well as her boyfriend's, was very poorly received by the public, who didn't see much substantial evidence backing her claims. Moreover, despite Fatal not releasing an official document,
she lived in that house as well.
Response mentioned him
Didn't
more
she
than
think that she
any
should,
other
you know,
individual. This
clean?
Fatal to publish his own response, resulting in another wave of criticism directed at Yakirisu. Fatal, known online as Games Cage, was initially okay with his friendship with Yaki fading, but her actions soon changed his mind. He realized the extent of her negativity, how she had impacted
the
his
man
brand
himself,
and reputation, and even tarnished his character in the eyes of other creators. Enough was enough, he concluded. The root of their conflict stemmed from Yaki's belief that Fatal wasn't supportive enough when she first began streaming. This was confusing for Fatal, as Yaki had actively promoted her streams on his own, even tagging...
So the root is essentially just he not pushing her enough. What has that to do with Aru, though? I still don't get why you would go specifically after Aru that much. Huh? This makes zero sense. This makes no sense to me whatsoever. This shit is weird as fuck.
For broadcast, sometimes even while he was live himself. Fatal
So
eventually had to explain that he wasn't comfortable with her constant self-promotion.
Ultra UI Goku, get that rat off my screen.
And frustrated by her relentless focus of her own agenda. Despite this, Fatal continued to rate her streams and offer advice. He was baffled by her portrayal of him as someone who actively sabotaged her career.
Again, I don't. So Fatal is only he didn't push her enough, but Aru,
their interaction on each other's
because she was his girlfriend once.
Stable on the surface. However, Yaki's true nature
I do not understand. I don't understand whatsoever.
Had cheated on her. This fabrication, completely out of the blue, shattered Fatal's relationship with Aru and devastated his mental health. Yaki, having successfully isolated Fatal from his friends, then moved in to befriend Alpharad in his circle. Fatal, while
she's like a virus.
Negatively about Alpharad,
she's like a virus.
But during a trip to LA, he discovered Yaki had been spreading the same lies about him to Alpharad's entire group.
What the
this
hell? She is essentially like a virus. What am I gonna call this?
She even humiliated
it's insane to me.
It was shameful for her to still talk to Fatal, painting Aru as a victim with no
I'm
self-esteem.
flabbergasted.
She went as far
All
as
this
to threaten Fatal's career, claiming she could, quote, ruin his connections within the
all
industry,
this
end quote, by telling her Sega friends to never work with him again. This was a
because he didn't push her enough.
As Sonic is a major part of Fatal's content. Izzy and her friends
true, yeah, I know.
These lies to Fatal. A month later,
I don't watch Fatal often, but yeah, there's an occasional video.
He wasn't surprised, as they had visited him in the past and he had witnessed firsthand her manipulative and controlling behavior. She would scold Ultima like a misbehaving dog, her tone condescending
what the
and
fuck?
patronizing. Fatal is completely
like a misbehaving dog, that is insane. Like, did she go to special classes for this?
Support for the victims who came forward.
Like, for real, did she go to special classes for this? Did she train to be this manipulative?
Financial gain with her usual lack of minimal appreciation. Let's start with Frosty. Frosty is a fan of Yakirisu's content and became a high-tier patron on her Patreon, supporting her cosplay endeavors. My experience
this
with
can't be
Yaki
good.
has been more of a detached one compared to the others, but I will say that it has still affected me mentally and physically to the point of causing me to contemplate my position and place in life, Frosty states. Frosty highlights communication and reward issues on Patreon, including unfulfilled promises and angry responses to his messages, as she claimed they were either too long or that he used the inbox like DMs. She does hard sell him on higher tiers and drops hints that her costumes cost more than expected, which Frosty immediately offers to pay the difference for. Frosty also mentions being asked to become a Discord and Twitch mod for Yakirisu, a request he initially accepts out of desire to help the community. As it turns out, among Yaki's Patreon perks for her patrons is the exclusive opportunity to become a moderator.
Are you?
Yes, you are paying her to then work for her for free. Oh, and that reminds me, I probably feed my mods too. However, his experience as a mod was short-lived, as he was removed without explanation after a single stream. And
I am visibly confused.
Passive-aggressive message telling him that he missed the mark on, quote, every occasion. Frosty then goes on to detail how he received his Patreon reward, which cost $400, and a low-quality selfie of Yaki in her cosplay, which arrived a few
What
months
the
late.
fuck?
After delays and complications, Frosty decided to lower his Patreon tiers.
He is not mentally well. They are not mentally well. Why would you pay $400 for a person you do not know?
One of them she had already finished,
I don't get it.
one remaining. However, Yaki failed to do her maths properly, and
I don't get
was
it.
irked at losing $1,000 worth of rewards.
I'm gonna have a mental breakdown.
May not be the best mappers, but what happened next is way worse. Following him reducing his Patreon tier, he immediately gets
I just
blocked
looked
from
up Yakirisu, how she
for
looks.
harassment, and gets subsequently
Really?
ostracized from about 10
All that?
different communities and Twitch chats. After inquiring to people, he gets told that it's
For
due
mid?
to parasocial tendencies and
I mean,
harassment. Frosty is
big
then
booba at
certain
least,
that
but,
Yakirisu
like,
is the driving
for real?
force behind this. And after all, this is a signature move from her. To gatekeep people she dislikes from all of her friends group, expecting her friends to sever ties with those individuals. Frosty explains his sadness at losing these online communities where he felt comfortable and accepted. And it's messed up. Even though he might have broken some
but thus,
rules with the
so she,
community, there's
yeah,
no
but in this
reason
case
for
she
him to
also
be
isolates her
ostracized
friends from others.
multiple communities
That's
unless he actually committed something
weird
heinous.
as fuck.
The
What
only
is
thing
this
the guy
person?
did was wanting what he paid for and being a bit too overzealous interacting with her.
Understandable.
Nathan, a supporter of Fatal and Yaki, decided to intervene after the Yakirisu defense statement. He found Yaki's response
Another one.
incomplete and some information about Fatal blatantly wrong. This conflicted with his knowledge of Fatal. This set off a red
Really?
flag,
Another
prompting
one?
Nathan to dig deeper into the story. What he uncovered was truly horrifying. He realized the depth of Yaki's manipulation, how he too had been a victim of her lies. He realized he was being taken advantage of financially with multiple occurrences where he was helping Yaki, thinking she was in dire financial
Why do all these
distress.
people
With
throw
repeated
money
gifts
at
of
her?
thousands of dollars, each time she claimed it would be the only time she asked for his help, only to come back again asking for more just a few weeks later, either for student loan issues or because of her broken
I am
car.
completely
Only he found out
flabbergasted.
later
I have
through
no
Ultima
idea
that
why
she
they're
had just
throwing
made
money
a
at her
down
like
payment on
like
her
she's a
brand new
a
car and realized he was being extorted
worker.
all
Like,
of this time.
huh?
I just want to understand why you bothered to ask me for help at all, he writes. If you had more than enough money to buy a whole new car this whole time,
$3,682. Are you out of your mind?
$3,682. When everything was all said and done, was anything that I sent even needed for all of its intended purposes? He explains that Yaki would ask for my help on something that was currently an issue for
Are
her,
you
which I
out
had
of your
accepted
mind?
and helped because, like I said, I'm just someone who wants to help people. In some screenshots, Yaki even has the balls to tell Nathan to send money through friends and family because PayPal had eaten $20 of her fees, and tried to convince him to get a business account to save fees. In hindsight, a business account would make sense considering he was
I
basically
don't-
a bank. Except the bank would get their money back at one point. Nathan ends his document claiming
I am
it was
so
really hard to come out with
confused.
this side of the story because he cared for everyone involved, and it hurt so much seeing his trust in someone get broken so quickly. On May 31st, 2023, Tommy, a former friend of Yaki for 3 years and also her VTuber and PNG artist, has
Another
released his own
fucking dog.
statement. He created both models for free as she was struggling financially and going through a breakup at the time.
Really?
Since Yaki wasn't paying for her models, she didn't think it was necessary to give him a deadline. Tommy still told her he would try his best to complete the models within
Really?
5 to 6 months, and suggested she commission another artist if the process was too slow, but he didn't want her to take his timeline as a promise. Eventually, Tommy began encountering obstacles as they struggled
They're
with
throwing
personal
three
issues
free
and an
things at
overload
her.
of
They're
permissions,
throwing
making
money
it
at her.
difficult for
Like,
them to
what the
complete Yaki's
fuck is
model.
this?
During a conversation, Yaki became upset and emphasized that Tommy had broken a promise to her. Tommy, in turn, expressed that he felt a lack of compassion from Yaki regarding his life situation. Tommy apologized for not keeping their end of the deal and felt terrible about it.
I am so
Yakirisu
fucking
and Tommy
confused. It's
argued
insane.
over unfinished artwork, with Yakirisu highlighting her efforts and feeling unappreciated. Tommy expressed hurt, citing his support through retweets, subscriptions, and donations. Ultimately, Tommy reiterates that he feels Yakirisu
So let me get this
only
straight.
cared about getting her
He
model done
wanted
for
to
free.
make the models
And
for
honestly,
free.
it's a little wild to belittle someone for some free art.
He
On
then had
top
some
of that,
problems in his
he
life,
expresses his disappointment on how she
and then
received the fan art
she
of
shit
her
on
and
him
Trump he drew for her, where she
because
responds,
he had
"Sick art,
he
laughing at how
struggled.
you forgot 99% of the design though. Jeez."
Ugh.
On to Sean, an old friend of Yaki who released a hilariously titled Google document
Another
called
one?
Sir, an 11th Google Doc has hit the Yaki Towers, who
What
tells us
the
all about his
fuck?
own personal experience with Yaki,
Okay, that
which
was
is
funny.
eerily familiar with everyone else's. She spread malicious rumors to large creators about him using commission money on gacha games. He first puts out a tweet thread
I mean, it wouldn't be
explaining
the
his
first one,
experience with
but
Yakirisu, and that leads him to being reacquainted with Hazel, who reveals a lot more. Yaki had been screenshotting and documenting tweets from Sean where he was quote-unquote e-begging, while he was experiencing heavy financial struggles due to him being disowned by his own family.
Aww.
Which is so fucking wild considering she was literally the one begging several people for money at the same time.
And free stuff.
And only sustained herself from their generous donations. His tweets weren't even asking for money. He was just basically tweeting that he was broke. And the worst part of it all is that she made her girlfriend maintain the Google Doc for her. Picture this, it's as if Regina
hell?
George asked her boyfriend to maintain her burn book. And we only know this because her significant other leaked a copy of that Google Doc. You can't make this shit up. And it doesn't even stop here because she also
This
made
can't be
burner
real.
accounts to harass him and spread
This is a
rumors
super
that he
villain.
hadn't finished a commission from 4 years ago. Man, the level of dedication
Jesus,
and energy
Thanos
she
would be
used to
proud.
try
Like,
to ruin
holy
someone's
hell!
life
What
is
did you do?
astounding. So it
Oh,
turns
you are
out that
crap. I
not
remember.
only
I
was
have
she
seen
a
that name
horrible
before.
person, but also a huge hypocrite, as she herself would spend copious amounts of money, and even money she was supposed to spend on rent, to get characters in gacha games.
Is this?
Finally, Alpharad went
I thought
live
this
on
was Blue
stream to
Archive,
share
but I've
his
never
thoughts
played
on
Blue
the whole
Archive, so I cannot
situation.
tell. But the screen looked familiar.
Cruel and malicious behavior of Yaki, who, if you've, if you're not a stranger to the channel, you probably know that is a close friend of mine, and that sucks. And
Okay.
at first I wanted to hear both sides, so that's why I was quiet on the beginning one. I know everyone sees this and thinks the answer is so easy to disavow someone and just shame them, and and a person I noticed
Sometimes the answer is
having
easy,
those
though.
bad traits in, and thought it was just me because everyone else
Jesus, come to the get to the point.
be around. I don't know, man.
Naturally, people were anxiously waiting his statement as his name had been frequently mentioned throughout the controversy. After all, he was the largest creator involved. He explains how he started off as a neutral party, wanting to hear both sides and evidence before speaking out. He seems visibly upset with the whole situation, explaining that it was just too difficult to swallow and the whole friends group was having trouble processing it and grieving.
Understandable. Because, like, everyone is so manipulated that nobody really understands what's even going on.
About how he had to fire Ultima a few months back as his channel video editor because he just wasn't getting the work done in a timely manner, but now realizes with a tremendous amount of guilt the reason why this was happening.
I mean, but it's also understandable,
Kinda sealed the deal on her fate and
Time is
delivered
money.
the finishing blow. The name she had used to climb the social ladder and strong-arm people with, the person she wanted to impress the most and had poured all of her hopes for a bright future in, had just turned his back on her. And on that fateful day of June 26,
She got nuked.
Yaki decided to terminate her online presence once and for all and
Good.
deactivated her Twitter account.
Good.
As the story became trending on Twitter. The internet was taking turns effectively dunking on her, and her YouTube and Twitch accounts rapidly started losing subscribers.
Good.
And haven't stopped since then. They remained up, although inactive, and it remains uncertain whether Yaki intends to resume her activities one day or not. Yakirisu, with her carefully cultivated image of friendship and support, used her connections to silence victim and protect her own reputation.
We don't need somebody like that in the space.
That came out against her and the shared experiences of so many different people across the board point that she was a much different person than the content creator she appeared to be on her broadcasts.
Like I said, understandable.
Unless you could advance her career.
Like, dude. This is a level of unhinged.
Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
Yeah.
Subscribe to my second channel for more videos, or check out my Patreon for even more exclusive
I'll later
content.
make her
And I'll see you
little
in
ad.
the next one.
Thank you for making it. So let's summarize this. Okay. So she manipulated everyone. Everyone. She worked with, she had relationships with, she was friends with everyone. She abused every single, well, not all people she was with, but like at least every single partner. Some friends. She was lying a lot. She kept her editor like a fucking dog, put him into the basement, and made him work like he's some kind of child in China doing child labor. This is insane. She abused her cats, or her animals. Her cat? One cat, I think. And put him into a small room called the gay baby jail? She bullied another girl because she was close to fatal. And all the 11 Google documents, all the abuse, all the lies, manipulation, bullying, because she wasn't supported by Fatal in the way that she thought she deserved. Yep, this is my kind of woman smash. Anyways, I'm just kidding. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, take care, guys.